Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you wanted to join me today because making this video is going to be really difficult for me. And I really want to be honest with you guys, and I really want to believe that you guys actually care about how I am feeling. So that is the function of this video, is to tell you guys what's going on and how I'm feeling. So for the ones that aren't caught up whatsoever, which actually is all of you, what happened was that in spring I got an internship in Beijing in China, and I was so excited about it. I was going to be living in Beijing from the end of July until the end of December, and I would be working as an unpaid intern at the Danish Institute of Culture. The job was related to my education at uni, where I study English and culture, and I was going to work with performance art and art and galleries, and it was going to be amazing. So by the end of July I moved to China all by myself. The institute hired 2 other interns as well, but I did not know them before moving to China, and we all moved in together in this apartment. And I didn't really think that it was going to be an issue moving to a different continent where I didn't know the language, I didn't know the city. I have no idea what I was thinking, but I thought I would be able to do it, and I thought I would be able to have a somewhat normal life just in another place. Because during summer I went to Budapest in Hungary, I was in Madrid in Spain, I was in London in England, and I was all over the place. I traveled by myself. It was no issue whatsoever, and I enjoyed it so much. So I genuinely thought that moving to Beijing and having to travel there would be just as easy. Spoiler alert, it's not. I ended up in China, and after a 12-hour plane ride I ended up in this apartment that I paid serious money to be in. It was very, very expensive. You had to pay 3 months at the same time just to be there, and it sucked. It was so bad, it was disgusting, it was dirty, it was unsafe, and it had bed bugs all up in it. Also, a pipe broke, all my things were soaked on the 6th, 7th day. So many things happened, and everything was just so different. So right from the beginning I felt really, really unsafe, and I felt like I didn't belong whatsoever. And my 2 roommates, which was sort of in the same boat as I was in, however one of them spoke Chinese, but they were super motivated, they were super ambitious being there, they wanted to learn the language as quickly as possible, they wanted to make this a really, really nice experience, and they had all this energy and all this excess motivation to do things, and I did not. I wasn't interested in learning the language, I wasn't interested in getting to know the area. I just sat there in my room and did nothing. I was stunned from the moment I got there, and I was genuinely so unhappy, and I was so insecure, and at one point I realized that I wasn't even sad. I didn't feel anything. I just walked around feeling nothing, and it was so scary, because I've known many people in my life with serious mental illnesses, and one of the things that I had the most times people can struggle with is the inability to act, just standing still or lying still, not knowing what to do, knowing you want to do stuff but you can't. And I've never understood that before feeling that exact feeling in China. And I walked around sometimes just looking for a place to eat because I could feel my stomach was aching. I was so hungry, but I had no idea what to do, so I ended up walking around, having a sip of water and going back home. I couldn't do anything because I was so scared. So I thought it was normal to feel, you know, kind of overwhelmed, to feel kind of stunned or even a bit scared when you move to a different continent where you don't know the language. And I just thought that, oh, it's just because I'm missing home, or it's just because I'm missing the people that I care about. And at some point, because I told myself over and over and over again, you just need a routine, you just need to get used to it, you need to get accustomed to it, and it'll be fine. And I started to realize that the feeling I had inside had nothing to do with the lack of routines or being in a new place. I was just depressed. I was just straight up depressed, and I've never ever felt anything like it, because I didn't feel anything. I wasn't even sad. I was just grey, just bland, nothing. And I couldn't eat anything, and the things that I used to love and the things that I did before that I loved, I didn't love anymore. And I couldn't even get myself to film a few videos. I did a what I eat in a day video, and I did a talk whilst I was in a hotel about bottled water. I only did those 2 videos in 2 weeks, and that is so uncommon for me, because I didn't want to do anything. And I started to realise that no amount of routines and getting used to it would change the fact that I was just genuinely unhappy. So after 8 days in Beijing, I booked a flight home. And I've been home for over a week, over 2 weeks when you see this. I spent my last 5 days in Beijing in a hotel, because being in the building, being in the apartment, made me so insecure and unhappy. Also, something else happened, and I don't know how much to talk about this, and I don't even know if I want to talk about it, but I guess it's nice for you to know what happened, and I genuinely feel that this is something that you should talk about, but it's difficult. My first weekend there, I was out with my roommates, and we were out in this bar, and we had a couple of glasses of wine, and it was really, really nice. It was nice trying to bond with them and everything. And we met some guys from Edinburgh, and it was just so much like home all of a sudden, and we ended up talking. It was just really nice having people I could actually talk to that understood me. And that was really nice and all. And at some point in this conversation, my roommate left, and I ended up being alone with these guys from Edinburgh. So nothing serious happened. It was just really traumatizing for me. So whilst some of the guys are inside, I'm out on the street, and one of the guys from Edinburgh, he grabs me really, really hard, and my arm was completely blue and hurt for days and days and days. And it's almost 2 weeks since I got home, and I still have a mark. And he kissed me against my will, and there was nothing really I could do about it. And had that happened here in Aalborg, had it happened in London, had it happened in Brussels, anywhere else in a place where I felt less insecure, I would have told him to sod off, and I would have kicked him, and I would have gotten really, really mad. But I was in a place where I didn't feel like home, not even the slightest bit. I was so insecure, and I was unable to act no matter what happened. So I just ended up standing there, and then he walked into the shop with the others, and I just ran for it. And I felt so ashamed, and I felt violated in so many ways, and I felt really, really ashamed that I just laughed it off when he was there, instead of saying, no, I don't want this, because I had no tools whatsoever to decline or to refuse, because I couldn't even, make myself dinner at this point. I was just so bland is the best way to describe it. But yeah, then I called up, on my way home, I called up my boyfriend, and I told him what had happened, and I felt so guilty, even though I knew that I shouldn't feel guilty. I felt guilty, I felt really, really guilty, and it was so it was just the last straw in Beijing. And after that happened, I had no energy to continue trying. So yeah, after that happened, I booked my ticket home. I spent my last nights in a hotel, and I flew back home 2 weeks after I landed. And it's sort of embarrassing, because I really thought I would be able to be that kind of person who moved to China and everything would be fine. And I looked so much forward to following all your tips. You guys were so amazing, giving me tips on YouTube and on Instagram on where to go and what to eat and whatnot. But I didn't get to do any of these things because I was so unhappy, and I think this is a really nice opportunity actually to talk a little bit about reaching your own limitations and really feeling that sometimes this is not for you, and that's okay. I've taken 2 weeks to get used to the fact that this was my limit, and it was okay that I wasn't able to do this. It's all right that I wasn't able to, but it bothers me so much. But at the same time, I also told myself that no job whatsoever is worth risking your health for, especially your mental health also. So that is the entirety of the situation. I am back home, and the second I landed in Denmark, I felt so relieved, and I could just feel inside that this was the right move for me going back home. So the channel will continue as it's done previously. Obviously, YouTube hasn't felt that much of a change because I only put up 3 videos. But other than that, I am moving in a few weeks into my new apartment, my first real, I'm going to be living there alone apartment, and I'm so excited about that. I think that's a really nice change and something that I'm looking so much forward to. So yeah, that is all that's happening. I just really wanted to let you guys know what's going on and let you guys know that I'm okay. But for a brief moment I wasn't, and I think it's a good thing that I can admit that. So yeah, that is this video. It's a weird video because I usually don't post stuff like this on my channel. But yeah, this is how it is. I hope you guys enjoyed it, or at least that you feel updated on my situation and whatnot, and I hope you will watch some other videos that are slightly less depressing, and I will see you guys in my next video. Take really good care of yourselves. Until next time, bye.